It's doing something. Okay. Let me see. That did not do what I was expecting it to do. So, give me 1 second. And I am going to put that over there. We are good. Okay. Let me have a look at you all. Bryony, I am counting the days. We're 3 weeks away. Something like that. Yay, so exciting. And I heard from Sue and Catherine yesterday that the retreat is full. So that is going to be super exciting. Beryl, I saw a photo of you and Ruth yesterday that she sent to me. That is so awesome. I understand that you guys had a good time together in Michigan. I love it when MELs get together, when somebody goes visiting somewhere far from home. And so it was really beautiful to see your smiling faces together. Okay. Wow. I am learning a lesson here. I always think too late. Do not check your emails before going on a Zoom call. Oh, goodness. You can always guarantee that there's one in there that will kind of throw you off. So it is good to see you guys. We have, let me see, just 2 questions today. So if you have any questions and did not submit them earlier, feel free to write in the chat or raise your mechanical hand. Let me see. Lonnie, are you here? Hang tight. We have a bunch of people waiting in the waiting room. I thought I did uncheck. I don't know what's happening there. Got a few people popping in here. Okay, I've unchecked enable waiting room. That means that people should be coming in without me letting them in. Okay. There's more people here. Sorry about that if you got stuck in the waiting room. I'm really not quite sure what happened there. Okay, let's see. Is Lonnie here? Lonnie is not here just yet. And she had a very brief statement. And so I'm going to wait and see if Lonnie comes in later. Teresa, let me see. Teresa is also not here and had questions to follow up on her questions. So, Sharon, you have a question. I'm coming to you, and you are unmuted, and I'm going to spotlight you. And whoops. Hello, how are you?
Okay, I still can't get that file I sent you yesterday, the version of Cricut I have. It's different than yours.
Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. So, let me get Design Works. It's not Design Workspace, is it? The Cricut thing up.
Design Space.
Design Space, that's the one. Okay, Cricut Design Space coming up on my computer.
And I sent you an image. I sent you an image yesterday of my screen. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw something. Let me just have a really reorganizing the screen here. Okay, let me see. So image too large. Interesting. And that's the 4.
And it doesn't show anything. It just gives me the the kiss of death. Okay. When you turn off the black, it does nothing, And on the other design, the 8-inch one for the center of the bag, it only gives me one design. Okay. The others are just blacked out.
Okay, can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to go up here to settings.
Okay.
So I have 8.42.63. 8.42.63. That's the same. Hold on a minute.
What did I tell you in my text, my email?
You told me 8.42.63, and that's
Okay.
now what I have. But that's not what I had on August 15th, which was yesterday.
Like I said, I had to do a mandatory update. I couldn't even get the darn thing to load without doing an update. So it's like.
So I have the same version that you have now. It apparently updated on my computer without me realizing. So, okay. So I'm going to upload. So Sharon is working on the Abundance collection. So I am going, and wouldn't you know, just to prove that I was actually there yesterday, checking this out. So is the 4-eye block SVG.
Right, and the 8. I'm doing both. I need the 4 and the 8.
Okay, so let's bring in the 4. Do you get this far?
Right. Yeah, I get that far. I can see it. Yeah, it's there, but it doesn't.
Okay. Continue and then upload.
See, now it's going to give you that same message. It's going to give you the kiss of death.
It's not giving me a kiss of death here.
Well, you can't do anything. It won't do anything. It says it's too big if you press the little red thing, the button.
Well, okay. So it's currently setting at 12 by 12, right? 12 by 12, and it's sitting at 0, 0, which is what I want.
Right, I tried changing it.
Well, hang tight, okay. Just a minute. So I've got the whole thing selected. Right click, ungroup.
Ungroup, okay.
Right click the big square and delete it, or left click the big square and delete it. Click that square and delete it, and now you've got everything that is ready to cut. So now I'm going to Control A to select all again. I'm going to right click and choose attach. And now if I had my maker connected, I could click on make and it would send it to the cutting machine.
Okay, so I have to ungroup first.
Yeah, you have to ungroup everything first and delete the 12-inch square. Okay?
Because I didn't used to have to do that before.
Have you recently got your Cricut maker?
No.
What
No,
have you been
I've had
using
it for several years and I've never had to do that, ungroup and.
Strange. Let's just check on so I just deleted all of that. Let's upload the
8-inch.
8-inch one. So 8-eye block.
Right.
Well, it does exist. I just need to download it. Let's see, where's Dropbox got to? Make available offline. There we go. Okay. Upload. So well, that's interesting. So everything is selected. It's set at 12 inches by 12 inches. Move it into the corner. So 0, 0.
Okay.
Only that didn't. There we go. And then ungroup.
Now, where did you go to ungroup at? Which icon did you use?
With everything selected, right click.
Oh, right click, ungroup. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so if you if you open up this, it's telling you this one is a thing that's too big, but this is the bounding box to
Okay.
make sure everything is the correct size. So you can literally just delete that and then everything is good. So all of these things which are they're the boundaries of the pieces of fabric that you're going to put down.
Right. I used to just in
right?
previous versions, I used to just turn them off and it was worked fine. You know what I mean? Just click them off and they would just go, they're gone.
Yeah.
And they were still there, but they were gone. Okay, you just turn them off. In previous versions of this,
well, because it used to be that there was a while when you imported an SVG file into Cricut Design Space, it would come in at a ridiculously large size, like 89 inches or something.
Right,
and
right. And
sometimes even bigger. Yeah, so we started putting we put the 12-inch box around it so that you can guarantee if you've got everything selected, then you can resize everything to 12 inches by 12 inches. And so we can guarantee that everything will cut correctly.
Right, right.
But you do have to ungroup everything, delete that box.
Okay.
So that
you didn't used to have to do that before. They just make it, they're just making an extra step now because it, like I said, it used to be there. All I had to do was turn it off. And everything would appear and I would be able to cut it.
You know, I've noted, so there has been a change in the way that Cricut does their thing because it used to be, let me share my screen again and I'll see if it actually, they've kind of eliminated a step. So it used to be that when you did upload, you would upload the image and it would, you can see all of these things here, right? It would upload the image for you, and then you had to go select the thing that you just uploaded and add it to the canvas. And what I've noticed, and we'll try it one more time on a completely different file, we'll do the 12-inch block. First of all, we'll make it available offline. If we continue, it's automatically going into the upload and adding it onto the canvas, right? So they've definitely made a change to the way that we bring things onto the canvas, and it looks like everything is coming in a group. So even if you went right there and click on ungroup, you can do that. But you do want to make sure
they just changed it.
Yes, they have definitely changed it.
Okay.
And this it's never given you an error here before either, or this warning sign.
No, it says the thing is too big. It's not 11 by 11 and a half. It's not 11 and a half by 11 and a half is what the message says. It says it's too big.
Yeah, well, it is. That's because it's 12 by 12.
Right.
But we put that 12 by 12 box on there because Cricut used to make things whatever size it wanted to.
Okay.
Not the size that we wanted it to be. Okay. So I think it's a recent update. They've definitely changed it.
Right. Like I said, I had to do a mandatory update yesterday. I couldn't even load the program without it says no, you need an update like now.
Well, we've literally just seen, because yesterday when I responded to your email, I had written down the version number, and today my version number is different. So apparently it updated itself at some point in the last few hours. So, well, I'm glad that we figured that one out.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Okay, let's see. Sue, you are up next, asking you to unmute here.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. I have a question on Zen Tangle Club.
Okay.
I
Just
am
say, can I
new.
just say something first?
Yes.
We're not calling it Zentangle Club.
Okay.
That will make the Zentangle people really mad, and I would
Okay.
really like to be friends with them.
Okay. So
So
anyway, my
Mel
question is,
Tangle Club, I know what you mean.
okay. My question is I don't know my software very well. Do I need to know that to understand and join this? Which would be better for me to learn first, the software or this?
Which software are you using? Or
I
which
have
do you own?
Hatch.
Okay. I will say, I think you will be able to pick up everything you need to know as we're going along. Are you already a member?
No, I'm not. And I put it off because I didn't want to get in and be so buried so deep that I was frustrated. And then I'd spent money I didn't feel was worth it.
So, what might be good for you is to do the first, you absolutely, if you do the whole digitizing and design masterclass, then that will put you in a really good space. I demonstrate everything in the digitizing and design masterclass in the Banina software in Banina version 9. And it is almost identical to Hatch. There's a couple of commands that you'll find in different places, but I highlight all of those in the instructions. So that will definitely give you a really great start, and it will give you a much deeper understanding, not only of the software, but also, you know, some of my thought processes. We did make module 1 available as a standalone so that you can try it just you know, without the whole investment. That would probably put you in a really good space for Mel's Tangle Club, because it in Mel's Tangle Club, literally we are playing with fills and lines.
Okay.
Patterns on fills and lines. And as we go along, we'll kind of expand our horizons a little bit. But if you did month 1 of the Digitizing and Design Masterclass, that will definitely help get you into everything that you really need at a basic level, which would allow you to really do something productive in Mel's Tangle Club.
So if I jumped into the design class, can I jump in at any time and start doing that?
If you want to do the whole thing, we're actually we're actually right at the end of the current session of the Digitizing and Design Masterclass, and we were going to take a break till January. If you want to jump in with the whole thing right now, I can absolutely make that happen for you. And if you just want to jump in with module 1, I can also make that happen for you. We're coming back with it in January. We're making a couple of little changes. But I don't want to have to wait all the way till January if you're excited right now.
Let's look at it now. I would be very interested in doing it now.
Okay, let me see. I don't actually even know if it's I don't know if it's even in the design store. It is. So we are going to, if you pop into, and I will give you a link in the chat. The only thing, so if you jump in right now with a complete Digitizing and Design Masterclass, and I just put the link in the chat for you, you'll receive, well, that's actually a really good question. I think I'm correct in saying that you'll get all of the modules all at once. So don't let that overwhelm you. The difference, what if you just signed up in May with the rest with everybody else, we were issuing a module every 2 a month. So on the 1st and the 15th, right?
Right.
If you sign in right now, you'll get all of the modules will be available. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So if you set your own time scale, right? So that you work at your own pace. So you don't have to wait on me anymore. In terms of you're ready for the next module and you have to wait until whenever. So go at your own pace, but please don't get yourself overwhelmed.
Oh no,
we're
I
also
can do it step by step.
Q&A session. Well, you'll actually jump into, we've got one more Q&A session coming up. Let's see, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So you'll be able to jump in then if you have questions. And after that, we'll be opening Fridays up to questions.
Okay.
Haven't actually told them that yet, but anybody who's listening right now, you'll find out. So Bryony actually comments, she says she did the digitizing class earlier this year and has found it really useful and has a much better understanding of the Bernina 9 software. So Bernina 9 Hatch, they are almost identical. Marilyn took it and took the digitizing and design masterclass back in 2022, the first time we offered it, and then she did masterclass plus, and she learned a lot, and she is using Hatch 3.
Okay.
So there's lots of people that you can go to with questions. We also have a Facebook group for it, so if you have questions, you can jump in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Got the link for you right there in the chat, and if you have questions, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do this in the right order. No, I'm not. Okay. Well, okay. Vicky, you are up next. Coming to ask you to unmute.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good. I'm a Tangle question also.
Okay.
I thought you kind of gave us homework, playwork, but it confused what you said, and I was wondering, what did you ask or suggest that we do?
Okay, so let me show
so
you
I'll be
where
on next week.
I actually popped it in the portal. So let me jump in and show you.
You did leave it in the
let's see. Don't you love it when stuff just stops working?
It's technology.
I know. Okay, I'm going to log in. Fortunately for me, it's remembered what my password is, because otherwise I would be clueless. Okay, so we're going to go in. You can't see my screen though, can you? Let me just share that. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have lots of products, go to the end and then work back. It put itself on the end of the list. So we're going to go into MEL's Tangle Club for August 2024. It's going to look a little bit different. We're using a different kind of product. Well, we're using a different setup in our back end to get it to you. So this is what you'll see. You got some instructions, a couple of different ways to download. So if you have a Dropbox, you can click here to download everything. Otherwise, you can go to the resources tab below and download the zip file. So details here. This is where we've got the recording from Wednesday's session. Notes.
That's where I typed in my notes.
Yeah, you can write your own notes in here
I did.
too. Awesome. So we've got what it's calling the coach's note. So this is the Zoom meeting. So you've got the link. So you don't have to wait for an email, or if your email gets lost somewhere, which I know they have horrible tendency to do that, you can always come here to get the Zoom link. And I added the August challenge here.
I didn't.
So I actually added that after the meeting when we put the recording up.
Okay. I looked
go ahead.
I looked too soon.
Possibly, yeah. So the challenge for August is create your favorite quilt block in your embroidery software and fill the pieces with the August motifs. So lots of different things that you can do with them. Play with different sizes. You can overlap them. You can use the wave and Florentine effects. So it's going to be a wave effect in Vanina software. It's called a Florentine effect in Hatch. Use the layout function to position the motifs exactly where you want them to be, not just where they happen to land. And most of all, have fun doing it. You know, I think there's so much possibility. I sat down to create the sample tangles, as we're calling them, and I could have sat here all day. Elle also jumped in with a bunch of them, and it doesn't take long to come up with something that looks really gorgeous.
Now, I do not have Vanina nor Hatch.
What software do you have?
Floriani.
Okay. Floriani is one that I still need to investigate in terms of figuring out how to get how to create the motif files. I'm going to actually write this down.
How dangerous will it be if I open like a PES file in my Floriani, which will automatically convert it into a Floriani native file?
I'm going to suggest you don't use PES. Use anything, I would go with a VP3.
Go with a what?
Go with VP3.
VP3 is safer?
Yeah. Yes. The PES format has had previously a tendency to be a little bit on the dodgy side. So I think VP3 is probably going to be a safer bet there.
I think so, because PES has too many versions out there.
Yeah. There's also, there was also for quite a long time, there was a challenge in converting to the PES format. It wasn't always the most reliable. In the last couple of years, I would say it has become a lot more stable, but I'd still go with the VP3 version. How familiar are you with the Floriani software?
I've taken quite a bit of digitizing classes.
So do you know if there is an ability to create your own motifs in there?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Maybe would you be willing to create a motif file for anybody else who's using the Floriani software?
I'm supposed to be learning how to do that if I would do my homework. Class a year ago, I know.
Let's take this conversation offline then.
Okay.
And maybe we can figure it out together.
Okay.
Because that would be fabulous. Ruth is going to be our Vanina version 8 person to create the ESB file for Vanina version 8.
And if there's anybody else on here that uses Floriani that takes classes with Trevor, please let us know. But my classes are with Trevor Conquer-Good, who is the R&K manager for the Floriani software. So he creates files.
Would you be willing to introduce me?
Introduce you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Know him.
And then we can get that
We'll take it
setup for.
offline.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you had your question. But in the meantime, okay, let me show you.
Oh, I found where it's at.
Let me just show you. I'm going to share my screen just a second. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is what you will download. The motif source files folder. So let's say it's got itself in a funny order here. Let's say you go into the VP3. For each of the motif sets, you'll find a fill samples, a line samples, and a motifs file. If you open up the motifs file, it has each of the individual motifs for that set. And so this is the file. So it will be that one. Okay, it did open up. So this is each of the different stars, each of the hearts. We did them in the 2 different sizes. Then there'll be the crescent moon motifs, the florist motifs, and the petals motifs. So those 4 files are what you will need to start playing with. Okay?
Okay.
And let's talk offline a bit more.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Vicki.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's see. Sharon, you have your hand up again.
Yes, I forgot to ask you a few questions.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, for the bag for the Abundance collection, it says to use poly mesh for your stabilizer. Is there any reason versus the Ultra Clean and Tear?
The only reason would be that I created that way, 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 way back. So Ultra Clean and Tear would be fabulous.
Okay. I just, like I said, I wondered. I thought I'd better ask. You know, sometimes you have a reason for your madness.
No, well, you're quilting onto, or you're stitching onto batting, right?
Correct.
So there's actually no reason why you shouldn't use Ultra Clean and Tear. They're not altogether sure.
I have just a comment. I went to see the new Bernina 990. And you can now scan your hoop, take that scan into your software, then you can place your quilting design exactly where you want it and take it back to the machine to stitch.
Now that would be really awesome. So you put everything into the hoop?
You put it into the hoop. You can take a scan of your hoop, okay? And then you take it into the software. Then you load, you bring in your quilting design and you tell it where to go, and then you send it back. And it'll stitch you so you can have perfect placement. Instead of fussing the way I have fussed and have been unsuccessful, I will be able to do quilting with a hoop without much effort.
Okay, I love that. Beautiful. So I want to know, when you get a chance to play, how accurate is the scan?
I never bought the machine yet. I just went to see a demo of it. And they don't have it, they only have one in my dealer. I want to go down there and look at it. I haven't bought the machine yet. I'm going to wait and see, but I want to see how accurate this scan is and see if it'll really do what it says.
Yeah, I'm interested to know, because let's see, the Brother Luminaire, when that first came out, I had an opportunity to play with it, and it has a similar-ish sort of situation. And this was several years ago, so I'm imagining that it's significantly improved. It wasn't as accurate as it could have been in the beginning.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see how accurate it is.
Like I said, I'm going to go down there again, and like I said, their machines are on order, so it won't be anytime soon. I'll be getting a machine, probably sometime next year. I want to also see how reliable the machine is, that it has a lot of bugs or anything.
You know, I think they've actually, I'm actually really impressed with the way that they have released this, because in previous years, there's always been a situation where they're so excited and they say, we've got a brand new machine, and then it's not actually available until the following year when they've introduced it in July. And this time they actually made sure that they had machines available immediately.
Right. And the thing is, I think you're on a wait list based on when you.
Yes, they had a certain number of machines, and once those were gone, then you're on a wait list. And I think January, or it might actually also be November, December time, but I know there was a wait. But there was an opportunity if you got, ahead of the game, to have the machine pretty much immediately. So
what I'm going to do is probably stitch a block out, and then take it down there, and then have them scan it and see how close it can stitch a quilting design of yours. And see how good it is.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear the results of this.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so Laurie, let me just have a quick there's stuff going on in the chat here. Okay, Joe, in the weekly Friday morning Q-tip Zoom, they were spitballing because you're wondering if it's possible to have a search engine on our library first page to look for specific design bundles. I know exactly what you mean, Joe. This is something that we have put in a request to Kajabi. It's actually kind of interesting. We use Kajabi, which is our back end, differently to most people. That I would say 99.99% of Kajabi users are coaches and speakers and people who don't really have a large inventory of things to sell. And we came along and we keep kind of filling up our allotment of products that we're allowed. And I keep telling them, hey, I need some more, please. And we have asked for a search function because I think it would be really, really helpful. It's hard to tell if we're even anywhere close to the top of the list of things that we've requested. There are a few other things that we've requested, but that search function is definitely one of them. And I might actually have Rhea suggest it again. Let me write this down. So request the search function in library. It's one of those things, the more people who request it, the higher up the list it will go. Whether or not we request it again, if that will have an impact, who knows? But we can definitely try. Okay. Let's see. Which cutting machine do most people use? Has a scan and cut and it's not working that great. Marion, we have let me see, Marion. Let me see where you are. I'm coming to ask you to unmute for just a second.
Okay, I'm here.
Let me find you. Hang tight 1 second. Oh, you're not on your video. Any chance that we could see
wait
you?
a minute. Yeah, let me turn it on. Okay, here I am.
Okay, now I can spotlight you. Here we go. Maybe. Maybe not. There you are. Hello.
Hi.
So which scan and cut do you have?
Well, I have the SDX. Let's see. I think it's SDX. It's right here. Yeah. The SDX 230.
Okay.
And
what,
I was having issues, but maybe it was my back. It's probably user error because I haven't used it that much, but I was trying to cut out the butterfly and the back, because I put steamer seam on the back.
I'm going to say that is more than likely causing the majority of your problem.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yeah, my preferred fusible is Heat and Bond Light.
Okay.
And if you go to Silhouette store, they actually sell their own. And I know Silhouette is not Brother Scan and Cut, but Silhouette has a fusible product that they sell, and it is actually Heat and Bond.
Oh,
they
okay.
have two different levels. So the reason that I'm not too keen on the steamer seam is because it has the two pieces of paper attached to it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And both sides are sticky on the actual steamer seam, right? When I've used it, it's never been altogether clear which piece of paper you take off first. And I've come to the conclusion it just doesn't like Phoenix weather.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never really been terribly successful. I know that other people in different parts of the country love it, but I would say for using it with the cutting machines, it is not going to be your best option. Okay. Because of the paper and the way it interacts with the actual product, because you want to have a really solid situation going on when you've got your fabric, you've got your fusible, and then the backing paper. You want them to be one unit whilst you're cutting. If there's any kind of bubbling, then you'll not get a good cut at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I not getting a good cut. It seems like it's not cutting through, it messes up the paper on top. Well, I've done it both ways. I put the paper on the bottom and I put the paper on the top. So either it does better.
I'm going to recommend try it with some Heat and Bond Light.
Yeah.
Make sure that you've got a really good fuse. So one of the things that I noticed when I was traveling and teaching is that people would not be getting good cuts even with the Heat and Bond, and they're using the ironing boards in the classroom. And if you look at most ironing boards, there's some kind of a grid structure with a pad on the top, right?
Right. And mine is.
And you're not getting an even heat across. So
okay.
I have the June Taylor Cushion Quilter Square and Blocker, which I use for placement, but I also use that for applying the fusible webbing to the applique fabric, because you've got a solid surface and you're going to get an even heat across.
Okay.
Right?
That could be it too, because I do it on the ironing board. So
yeah, well, try it with your steamer seam then on a solid board. And then I think you can guarantee you'll get better results with the Heat and Bond Light.
Okay.
And I always put fabric up, backing paper down on the mat, because if anything is going to get stuck to the mat, I would much rather it be backing paper rather than fabric.
Right.
Because if the fabric gets stuck, then you risk warping it when you're trying to get it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know it can be really frustrating trying to get the backing paper off if it gets stuck onto the mat, but it's easier than warping your fabric.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks.
You are welcome. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we've got other people. Anita has the scan and cut, uses it with the rotary blade. Joe has a scan and cut, and admits to user error. We already went to the top of the messages, Joe. I've never used the rotary blade on the scan and cut, but lots of people have. Vicky said the rotary blade is sweet. It'll go around more than once to make a cut as it goes deeper each time around. Perfect. Laurie, am I going to purchase a 990? Not just yet. I have to get over purchasing the house first. But I'm definitely liking the sounds. I'm loving some of the things that I've heard about it, and I believe it's going to be a really awesome machine. Let's see. Zoom is popping bits up here. Beth has a 990 for 2 weeks, but hasn't tried this scanner yet. Beth, we would love to know your experience of using that scanner. That would be absolutely fabulous. Okay. Lonnie is here. Lonnie, we will come to you in just a moment. Is there a similar product to purchase in Germany? Anita, which product are you talking about? That would be helpful to know. Did you know you can't find the June Taylor square and blocker anywhere? You used to be able to get it on Amazon. I'm going to check that later. Bryony has a felt ironing mat about 1.5 centimeters thickness, brilliant for bonding and fusing paper. Yes, the felt ironing mats or the wool ironing mats are good because they're solid and you have to use them on a solid base anywhere. The heat and bond, okay. You know, I don't know if heat and bond is available in Germany or not. Is Brigitte here? Brigitte, do you know if heat and bond is available in Germany, or what do you use? Hang tight, Brigitte. If you're there, I'm coming to ask you to unmute. Hey. I can't hear you. I see your lips moving. Still can't hear you. You are unmuted. Still can't hear you. I have been talking to her, so I have got my volume turned up here. Strange. Could you maybe write in the chat for Anita if you're using heat and bond, and if you are, where you get it from? That would be awesome. Thank you. We got a technical gremlin in the house over there. Teresa, I'm coming to you, and then Lonnie, you are up next.
Hi, Sarah. I was 10 minutes late signing on, so I don't know if you addressed this question in that first 10 minutes of this video, but I sent in a question for today.
Yes, you did. Yes.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
I apologize for the abruptness of it. I was doing it on my iPad, and I guess an errant finger hit the submit button before I was finished. So I don't think there was a question in there.
Okay, so in the free digitizing class, so you digitize a small curve pattern. Which software are you using?
Version 9.
Okay. So you digitize a small curve pattern, run around the square, then try to mirror the image to the curve to make the circles. Mirror image digitize itself above the line as well.
Yeah. And I tried it half a dozen times, but then I recalled when I was taking the master class a couple of years ago, I had an issue with the software where it just wouldn't do what you were asking us to do. And so I tried again the next day and it worked like a charm. So I was wondering if this was what was going on with these mirror image curves of mine. They were both digitizing above the line on the square and on the circle. So I left it, came back the next day, and it still wouldn't work. And I guess my question is, have you run into any issues with individual people's software where they just don't do what yours does?
Yes. So, fun fact, Elle and I were pulling our hair out last week, just prior to launching MEL's Tangle Club, because we were working in the Bernina software. We both had version 9. And I set up all of the fills for all of the motifs, and there's lots of them, right? There's over 100 of them, 100 different samples. I got them beautifully aligned, exactly the way I wanted it to be. And Elle's task was to go in and write down all of the measurements for the height and the width and the spacing and all of that, right? Yeah. And we had it done in Hatch 2. We actually did the Bernina files and Hatch files from scratch in both pieces of software because I wanted to make absolutely sure that we had native files in both formats, right? Mm-hmm. So she also has Hatch version 3. So I said, open up the Hatch file. Well, she had the Hatch file open and she had the Bernina file open and she was making sure that they were consistent. And everything was fine when I'd done my bit. She opened up and all of the Bernina fills were out of whack. They didn't match the Hatch version. And so she texted me and she's like, these don't match, I'm fixing it. So she went through and fixed it all in the Bernina software. Fortunately, I had gone through and multi-formatted everything and put it into our production folder because when I looked at what Elle had done, everything was in a messed up state, right? I'm like, what in the world is happening here? So it turns out that I installed my Bernina from the USB stick that came, and I'm looking around because I usually have the stick actually sitting here on my desk. Yeah. I installed from the disk, from the USB stick that came with the version 9 update. Right. She installed by downloading the free version that is on the Bernina website, and then using our.
Is this the most recent update? Is this the most recent update you're talking about?
Well, what it turned out, so we started looking at which version she had, which version I had. So I had a more recent version than she had, but she was not able to do an update. So what we wound up doing was, I have the contents of the USB installation disk in our Dropbox. So I had her wipe off, do a complete uninstall on her Bernina software and reinstall from the copy of the USB stick in the Dropbox. Wow. And that had her and I both on the exact same version of the software.
Wow, because I took that masterclass like 2 years ago, and it happened one time during that. And then again, just last week, I was away for the actual Zoom, so I was doing it from the recording. And then the second time it happened. So, yeah.
So are you do you have Bernina on the computer that you're currently Zooming from?
Yes.
Which version are you using? Do you know how to find that out?
You mean the, there's more information than version 9?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me show you.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen. You open up your Bernina software. I'm gonna have a quick drink here. So even if you don't have a design open, you can go to the help menu and go to about,
Okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. Where's mine now? Okay, get mine up here. Go to the help screen. Yeah.
Help and about,
Got
and
it.
it should pop up for
Yeah,
you.
got it. Mm-hmm.
So down here, you'll see, so I have version 9.2.4 released on the 20th of June, 2024.
That's exactly what I have.
Okay. So, okay. So let's, if you do on your computer exactly what I'm doing on my computer, right?
Hold on,
And then
find you. I have to minimize this somehow.
go press the escape key.
Yeah.
That might.
No. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's move it over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch back and forth. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to do an open object.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give myself a guideline. I'm not going to be overly precise about this, but that's cool. So left click, hold down the control key to force a 45-degree angle, right click, still holding the control key down, come back down to that line to force a 45-degree angle, left click, enter. So that gives you the simple motif that we were playing with during class. I like to have it some color other than black so that you can actually see the stitches. And now, are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to be. It's a bit hard because I have to switch back and forth. I wonder if I can bring you up on my iPad.
Well, let's, okay, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to make it so that you can share your screen and then I can see exactly what's happening with what you're doing. So, do you know how to share your screen?
No, but you can tell me.
So if on the main Zoom window down at the bottom, there should be a green share button.
Yes, got it. Okay.
So click that.
Okay.
And then you should the first option should be entire screen and screen one, and that should already be selected by default. So down at the bottom, there's a blue button that says share.
It popped up, my software popped up, so I think I can just click on that. Share. Yes, you see my window?
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so open object, you're going to do a left click, give yourself a guideline just so that you've got a baseline, and hide the hoop.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, actually, that's not what I meant by guideline. So select Control A and delete.
Okay, sorry.
Control A and delete. Exit, escape.
Yep. Okay. All right, what do you want me to do?
So over on the left-hand side, click on the ruler.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
And that will give you a guideline. There you go. Okay, so now left click on the guideline anywhere. Hold down the control key.
Mm-hmm.
Go up. No, now we want to do with you want a 45-degree angle, but you want a short line here because you're actually zoomed in really long. Okay, so go over to the right. You want a 45-degree angle. Keep going some more. Okay, now go back a bit. There. Now you're at 30 degrees. Go up.
Where is it saying that?
You're using your knowledge of what a 45-degree angle looks like. Okay, right click. Okay, not to worry. Okay, now go down to the guideline. over to the right. Move your cursor over to the right. We're making this little arc.
I don't understand what you're trying to get me to do here.
All I want you to do, I'm going to share my screen. She will take over your screen. I just want you to create this little arc that we were playing with the other day.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right? So click on your guideline, control, and you can see a 45-degree angle, right?
Where does it say that?
It doesn't say it. You just,
okay.
90 degrees,
Okay.
90 degrees is a right angle. 45 degrees is halfway.
Okay.
Right? So left click, right click, and then left click back on the line again.
Okay.
Hit enter. Okay. Then what I want you to do, I'm going to change the color of that. Then you're going to go settings, create pattern. I'm assuming that you already have.
I have them all. I've got the curve, the triple, the stem, the mirrors. I've got them all.
Okay. But you have a pattern set that you've created to put everything in, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to put them in Sarah Test pattern set, and I'm going to call it TW curve, Teresa's curve.
Okay.
And click on OK. So then I'm going to click on the left-hand side. I'm going to hold Control down, and I'm going to click on the right-hand side, and it's created that pattern set for me.
Right.
Right? That pattern. So if we create a square, doesn't really matter what, and we're going to apply the pattern run to it, and it's automatically selecting this. That's not necessarily always going to be the case, but it just so happened to create select the curve that we've just created. I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch, and we'll apply. And in order to get ourselves some nice numbers, we'll, okay, that, it's interesting when you resize something, it doesn't necessarily resize the motifs.
And that's
we'll do that. Okay.
Yeah. That's basically
so this
what
is going around the outside, right?
Yeah.
So if I do a circle, and we apply the pattern run, and this is the same pattern run. It's applying it around the inside. And you're saying that it's applying it around the outside for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder.
So, and then when I tried to do the mirror images to make the circles like you did, they both went on the same orientation as the originals. So, I mean, I got funky shapes, but I couldn't get those circles.
And how, and you were creating your circles using the circle ellipse? Because if I do this to a closed object, it's actually going to go around the outside edge. I don't know why it would be doing differently for you. Can you create the motif exactly the same way that I just created it? And create a square, create a circle, and send me an email with a screenshot of exactly what you've got.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
I don't know why it would be doing it differently. If you're using the exact same version of the software, you would like to think it would do the same thing, right?
And I tried it multiple times, and each time, like, I had it on, it came on the outside of the shapes. So that's fine. I'll do it again. And if I get the same response, I'll screenshot it and email it to you.
Okay. And if you do get the same, do you know how to make a little screen video? If you create yourself a Zoom meeting,
okay,
or just start a Zoom meeting and then hit record to computer, then share your screen and create the curve, do the digitizing, make the square, make the circle,
okay,
and then
I can
close the
video it.
meeting.
Okay.
And that will video it, and send me the video because I want to see what you're doing.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. And we'll see if we can figure this out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's see. Lonnie, you are the last question of the day here.
I am sorry that I was late.
No worries, not at all. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I was reading the directions on a Waking Heart collection, and it came, you know, I got all your fabric, all the backgrounds and all this, and I started to cut the backgrounds, and I figured because there were 4 different sizes, that one I'd do in one color, one I'd do in another color, and so on, because it didn't say to do one in all the sizes. I mean, I looked at your pictures, what I'm trying to say, and your background is all pink.
Let's pull a picture up. Let's see.
On page 6 of your instructions. And I got enough fabric to make the queen size, you know, and all that stuff. So, but
so the Hearts and Kisses, the Hearts and Kisses quilt.
Yes, yes.
Which document are you looking at?
I'm looking at page 6 on cutting.
On the how to piece it?
No, it says
the big hearts, little hearts, or the medium hearts, little hearts.
Let me see what it says here. Because I just in your directions, that's all. It's just fabric requirement and introduction, and it just says Awakening Hearts, Hearts and Kisses, medium hearts, medium heart and little hearts. Okay, and on the cutting.
Okay, got it. Let me share my screen, and then we can look at the instructions together.
Because I didn't go any further because I thought, oh God, I'll cut it all up and I won't have any material. Yes, that one.
This one. Okay.
And then go to page 6.
Page 6?
Yes.
Okay, right, so we're on page 6.
Yes. And it says cutting. So it says cut 5 pieces and cut 16 and all this. Well, because there's 4 different sizes, I figured that each size would be a different color. Because when you go to the next page, where it's each color 1 is something and color 2, that was very simple, you know, these. But I must read what
these background pieces. Let me show you what these background pieces are, Lonnie.
But I didn't hear you.
Well, if we go and look at the picture here.
Yes.
So the background is essentially the triangle part of each of the blocks. Right?
It's the square part, isn't it?
Yes. The square, but they are actually cut as triangles. They're actually cut as triangles.
Yes.
Because if this is one block here, this is a seam line here.
Yes.
Right? So that there is one block. So we've got 4-inch blocks, 6-inch blocks, 4-inch blocks, 8-inch blocks, 6-inch blocks. These would be 10-inch blocks.
Yes,
6-inch blocks, 8-inch blocks, 4-inch blocks, right?
Yes.
So they all got the same background color.
That's what I didn't understand. And that's why I say I cut one size in one color and another size in another color. I just didn't understand. But it's okay because I didn't cut them in little triangles or anything. So what I'm supposed to do is decide what background color I really want.
Yes. So the other colors, so let's actually here.
So when I ordered the fabric, I should have just ordered the background color that I wanted.
Yes.
I didn't understand that. That's what I didn't understand. I ordered all of it. But I understand.
So you ordered the light. You got
the pink. Now these colors that you're in, these colors that you're looking at now are for to make the design, you know, the strips, and you're going to cut all those. Yes, which I understood that. What I did not understand is that my background, I needed to stay with one color.
What colors did you cut them from?
Pardon me?
What color did you cut the background pieces?
I cut them all of them, and I cut the bottom as purple, and let's see, I cut 5 pieces of purple, and I cut 16 pieces aqua, red, purple for the 24 and 30. I cut the light purple.
So you were using these colors?
Yes, for the background.
Okay, because these colors are the applique shapes.
What are the squares for then?
That was my intention, that these are going to be for the actual hearts.
Hearts, okay.
Right? So going back to the picture of the quilt again, the background color, what I was calling the background, is this consistent light pink that is showing up across all of the block sizes, right? And then and then those other colors we used for the hearts.
Okay,
so
I understand now.
Saying is that you've used the other colors put in these squares, right?
I've just cut the other colors, but I'm sure I can use them in the hearts.
So you cut all of these squares in one color, these squares in a different color, right?
I cut the top in one color, then the next size in another color, the next size in another color. All this, there's 4 sizes, and I've got each size in a different color.
Okay. There's no reason why you couldn't use those colors in your quilt and use the light pink for all of your appliques.
Yes. But I didn't understand, and that's why I wanted to clarify with you. That's why I wanted to clarify. I didn't want to cut these into triangles and all that before I knew what I was doing.
Okay. Well, you've got a couple of different options then, the way that I see it. Some of these pieces are going to be big enough to create your appliques, and some of them probably aren't.
Right.
Or you could just use these as your background colors on each of the blocks. So your block, the backgrounds for your hearts, like let's take this strip here is the 4-inch blocks, right?
Okay.
So instead of having light pink in in the triangles, what color did you cut the small squares?
I cut them in purple.
Okay. So you could use that purple, cut the purple squares into triangles and use them for your 4-inch blocks in what I'm calling the background places. Right?
Right.
And then use the pale pink. Well, the 4-inch blocks aren't going to have any appliques on them. You're only going to have appliques on the 8-inch blocks and the 10-inch blocks.
Okay. So coming down the pattern, I'm going to have a different color in each row.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, if you use the squares that you've cut out at the moment, yes.
Right. And if I have the squares that are big enough for the hearts, then I won't use those squares in the background.
Do you want to see if we can, I was going to say, do you want to see if we can model it in CorelDRAW, but my version of, I had to uninstall my CorelDRAW that I created the design in. So we're not going to be able to do that right now.
I don't.
But yeah, if you use the squares that you've got that you cut, and you'll have different colors in each of the strips.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
And then use the light pink, which I've used on the background here, but use the light pink for the hearts.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. I just was confused and I didn't want to go any further until I found out what you meant. And I know now. So I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. It'll be just a little weird, but I also ordered extra fabric, so we'll see what I can do before I do anything. But I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't read well, as I've told you before, because of what I have. And being dyslexic, it's sometimes hard.
Well, that's why I've included the pictures on the cutting so that you can see.
Yes. And that's why I knew all of a sudden I was wrong. And I thought, oh no.
Well, your quilt might look different, but there's no reason why your quilt couldn't look beautiful.
Okay.
Using the fabrics that you've cut. It's going to be different. It's going to be unique.
It's going to be weird. It's okay. I'm still loving all your designs.
It's going to be different.
Yes.
But it's not. All of the colors work together.
Yes.
Really well. So you're just using them in different places.
Yes, and I never did get a notice from you, which means this guy never, we were looking for one pattern, and that was the Enchanted Garden dark, or was it light? Anyhow, one of those, and the stores had run out of them, and I couldn't find it, so I got something else. But it looks good.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So anyhow, you're wonderful. I'm sorry I make trouble.
Well, no worries. Keep asking questions and send me an email too if we're kind of in between Zooms.
Well, I figured you were so busy because I didn't hear from you at all. And I thought, well, with moving and all this, and getting caught up with a new connection of internet and all that stuff, I thought, she's fine. She's just in big move, which I hate to move, and I'm sure you do too.
We've been in chaos.
Yes, and I realize that.
I'm still unpacking here.
I hope you never have to move again. It's very bad.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? So this morning, I've gotten to the stage where most of the boxes that are left are boxes of fabric, and I don't know if you can see back here.
Yes.
I started emptying the boxes of fabric onto my table, and I've emptied enough of them to think that, you know what, I may well just go down to my local quilt store with the remaining boxes of fabric, put this fabric back in the boxes and saying, hey, do you know anybody who wants some fabric? Because here it is.
Yeah, yes. I agree with you.
Start from scratch in terms of I'm going to go out and buy fabric for this one particular project, because quite frankly, the thought of organizing all of that, and hey, it's like, oh my goodness. One lesson that I have learned, and this is for everybody, don't ever ask a non-quilter to pack your fabric for you.
Oh. There'll be everything but what
do not realize how important it is to keep things. I had it in beautiful piles in the in the cabinets, and I don't know what the heck they did. I think they just pulled it all out and they randomly stuffed it in boxes, and it's mixed up and everything. So if anybody is in Tucson or a Valley and wants to pop over here and claim a bunch of fabric, you can take a lot of it.
Well,
anyway.
You didn't have any of the fabric left that we tried to find, did you?
I don't know, Lonnie. If I do have it, I have absolutely no idea where it is. It is not in what I pulled out of the boxes so far this morning. I don't think there was I don't think there was very much of it left, because I think I had cards of each color to start out with, and I think we used pretty much all of it.
Yeah. Okay. You have a wonderful day. I thank you with my heart, and I'm glad you.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Oh, by the way, how was your trip up to the girls? You know, that you went to see them. What do they call themselves, that group?
Oh, the Q-tips. It was fabulous. We had so much fun. I think all three of them are right here on the Zoom call. I see Marilyn and Susie, and Joe has been dropping in from Venus to chat.
Well, I'm glad you had a nice time.
We did. We had a really splendid time.
Oh, good.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. The Q-tips have been chatting. Okay, we are, let's see, we are August 16th. August is a 5 Fridays month, and so we will be back, I believe it's August 30th, for a show and share. It's our 5th Friday show and share, so I hope you will come along and bring whatever it is that you've been working on from Meaning Alive Designs. And for those of you in Mel's Tangle Club, if you have stitched up anything that you've created using the Mel's Tangle Club designs, that would be fabulous, and I would love to see them. Heads up, we're not going to have any Zoom calls or any Friday Zoom calls in September, because I'm going to be in Europe. So unless the Q-tips want to host a couple of Zoom calls, and I haven't asked them that yet, so you guys can let me know what you think about that idea. But I'll see you in 2 weeks for our 5th Friday show and share. I'll see Mel's Tangle Club Plus members next Wednesday. We're going to have some fun deconstructing this month's tangles so that you can create your own variations. So that is going to be fun. I'm super looking forward to that, and I will hopefully see most of you, if not all of you, on Wednesday, and 2 weeks today for our 5th Friday. So have fun stitching, and I'll see you soon.